Live on KEXP, I'm DJ Miss Ashley, and it's my pleasure to welcome to the studio Chicha Libre.
Joshua Camp is switching to the accordion. One, two, three.
Esto es la danza de los Simpons. Y así se baila en Chile, Colombia, Perú y más.
palabras en mi diccionario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. palabras en mi diccionario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario. Baila la danza de mi barrio. Baila la cumbia del hombre millonario.
That was for all our millionaire friends.
1, 2, 3.
Esta mala suerte que me va matando, que me va matando. Triste, triste y solitario, sin padre ni madre, que lloren mis penas. Triste, triste y solitario, sin padre ni madre, que lloren mis penas. Vivo solo en la cantina, bebiendo y sufriendo mi cruel desventuras. Cielo, ¿por qué me castigas? ¿Por qué no mitigas este sufrimiento? Cielo, ¿por qué me castigas? ¿Por qué no mitigas este sufrimiento? Esta mala suerte que me va matando, que me va matando. Triste, triste y solitario, sin padre ni madre, que lloren mis penas. Triste, triste y solitario, sin padre ni madre, que lloren mis penas. Vivo solo en la cantina, bebiendo y sufriendo mi cruel desventuras. Cielo, ¿por qué me castigas? ¿Por qué no mitigas este sufrimiento? ¿Por qué me castigas? ¿Por qué no mitigas este sufrimiento?
Chicha Libre live on KEXP.
1, 2, 3.
Chicha Libre live on KEXP. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
That was wonderful.
We're so excited to be in this room, you know.
Excited to have you here. Do you want to introduce everyone in the room?
Sure. This is Karina. She from San Luis Potosí, Mexico. We've been playing together for a good 15 years, maybe. Wow. She's an amazing timbalera, amazing percussion player, amazing drummer, singer, everything. Neil Ochoa on congas, güiro, percussion, everything else. And I'm not going to tell people how long we've been playing together because it's just
It's a
too
lot
long.
of time.
From Venezuela. On the bass over there from Puerto Rico.
Woo!
Can I do that again? From Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's better. Dean Martinez. Did I call you Dean Martinez?
Yeah.
Not sure what happened. There was a band called Friends of Dean Martinez. I think
Yeah.
that's why it all of a sudden occurred to me. But that's Dan Martinez, not to be confused with the Tucson people. On the guitar, his name, and I know his name by heart, is Stephen Ulrich, who also plays in a great band called Big Lazy. We're big fans, and we're very happy that he's playing with us. And to my immediate right, my co-everything, Joshua Camp, who started this band a few years
We
ago.
don't need to talk about when you
Yeah,
started.
we're still in our 20s.
Yeah.
Joshua Camp on all the keyboards and many things. I'm Olivier, and we're so thrilled to be here.
So Olivier Conan,
Yeah.
mastermind behind the Chicha revival.
Yes.
Let's not call it that.
Okay,
I don't
it's not
think-
Chicha.
Yeah, I don't think so.
From Paris, the
Psychedelic
city of
cumbia
light.
revival.
But yeah, that's us. Who are
Thank you. I'm DJ Miss Ashley. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure having you. Can you talk a little bit about the themes you explore in your songs? Are there particular stories or moods or messages that you find yourselves returning to?
Such a good question for which I may not have a great answer. But do you want to take that?
The themes, they're big themes. Love, loss, traveling, drunkenness, regret. All the themes of country music. Also all the themes of our band.
Josh has a strong country music
I have
background.
a country music background, so.
as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we come from sounds and music and mixing up a lot of different influences more than we come from lyrics in this particular band. So our themes come from the Peruvian themes, the Latin themes of love, loss, crying, and drinking, and it's all about. I think joy in minor keys. I think is what it kind of is.
That's a good way to put it, yes. Most of our music is in minor keys, but you can dance to it.
I love it. And it feels so rooted in tradition. Can you tell us a bit about your musical backgrounds, whether you're classically trained, self-taught, or something in between? And I'm curious how you're able to bring such authenticity to this sound.
I love the authenticity part. I mean, I think I'm the only person who didn't really go to music school here. So I started in a punk band, but I listened as a teenager and as a kid. I listened to classical music because that's what was around me when I was growing up in Paris. And I love salsa and I love punk. So that's really what, that's my background. And then I got into a lot of different kinds of Latin music in New York, and cumbia, Colombian first, and then the Peruvian one, which I got really, really obsessed with at the beginning of this century. Josh here has a very different answer.
I have a
from
very
me.
different. You can probably tell from all the noodly solos. I was a serious progressive rock teenager,
Nice.
so that was. I came from a totally different place than punk rock. But I went to school and I'm classical. I'm very, I was one of those sort of classical snob kids until I, grew up and realized there's amazing music out there that's a little simpler than.
Wait, what do you mean simpler?
A little simpler.
That's a judgment right here.
In a good way.
Well, Josh, he grew up playing very expensive chords. So.
Yeah, we call them expensive chords.
Yeah, I know a lot of expensive chords. I try not to use them, which is why I play this, because it's hard to do that on a guitar.
But I think Stephen has a lot of expensive chords in his vocabulary also.
I do.
He does. Yeah.
I guess I'm influenced by film music and the sort of atmosphere and sort of dissonance of film noir and those kind of films. And I think that's, part of what I bring to this, hopefully.
But a lot of what we do is obviously originally based on Peruvian cumbia, cumbia psicodelica, cumbia from the Amazon, which, I got really obsessed with and, after a trip to Peru and getting into the music, and I think we all did. And then, Neil, who's been playing with us forever, has a strong background in all kinds of Latin music, percussion and punk. So I think that's how we all gelled and brought it together, and we haven't stopped yet. Karina she's a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
But you can't hear it when she plays timbales.
It's wonderful. It's so unique. Thank you for sharing that. And you shared the stage with some of the original Chicha legends and have also helped bring the genre to global audiences. What has it meant to you personally and artistically to be part of both honoring and reinventing the musical tradition?
It's a very strange place to be. I mean, I've been into other people's music and other music for my whole life, and I really loved the early pioneers of Peruvian cumbia, and put out a compilation that kind of became bigger than I even expected, and so part of me feels very guilty about it because I'm a colonizer in certain ways. I gentrified Peruvian cumbia, and I feel terrible for that. At the same time, I think a lot of people got exposed to it as a result, and I'm really excited about that. It started. I mean, not just me, a lot of people at the same time got really obsessed with the idea that there was sort of a missing link between Latin music and rock and roll. And, the Anglo rock world kind of took over, soft power, which soft power is on the wane right now. I'm not going to go into that one. But, and I think a lot of people in Latin America in particular, but in the US a lot, started realizing that, you don't need, I think, rock and roll, indie rock in order to communicate a new pop culture. And I think that's something that's happening all over the world, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, that compilation you released, The Roots of Chicha, not only helped introduce Chicha to a global audience, but also reached some pretty influential ears. How did you go about getting that compilation in front of people who could amplify it like that?
I didn't. It literally just happened.
Really?
And, it's like word of mouth. I think a lot of things happen that way.
Zeitgeist, yeah. But he also is the tireless. He also has a venue. Should probably talk about that.
Yeah, I have a small venue in Brooklyn called Barbès, and where we played weekly for years, and a lot of people went through, and a lot of musicians go there. So then that was part of the whole narrative kind of went through that
Networking.
that filter.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And now that Chicha has found a new audience, what do you think is the key to keeping people engaged over time?
Reinventing, as you just said yourself, it's like any music, whether classical or pop music, or if you don't reinvent it, Bad Bunny is reinventing his reggaeton.
Yeah.
Olivier can reinvent Chicha then.
I'm not. No. I'm a good bunny, okay.
The good bunny. Okay, bunny. That's me. Okay.
But how do you feel, Neil, about the whole gentrification of cumbia?
I mean, as we were speaking, earlier about that in neighborhoods, it's sort of it's a reality that we can escape, and not everybody's going to be happy, but not everybody's mad. And one thing with this is that Chicha music is I mean, when you look at when you see the history of it, it was marginal music. Middle class didn't like it back in the mid '60s in Peru. But it's kind of funny that it takes one European dude to present it or reintroduce it, and people, this is kind of cool. But also, it's dance music, so it can't help it but dance, like whatever you played, and people's got to dance. So, and as he was saying, that missing link, when you add the electric guitar and the like the kind of the blues idea of or not idea, but the fact that it's got the same vibe, same feeling of loss and despair and sadness and work. People connect to it.
Yep.
And just one thing about the word chicha, which is sort of polarizing if you're Peruvian. So I put out a compilation called The Roots of Chicha, emphasizing the fact that it was the roots of, because there's a music that came a little bit later that is called chicha by people in Peru, and some people got really mad about that, including a few musicians. But so the roots of Chicha became Chicha because it's a very easy name to remember. So all Peruvian cumbia and a lot of psychedelic cumbia, as a result, became Chicha. And I still get nasty emails about it. So I just want people to know that I'm aware. I've talked to a lot. I managed a.
We're very aware of how that word.
Very rooted in the history of the music. We understand the the nuance of it. But Chicha one, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's it's an easy name to remember. It's like rock and roll or tango.
Yeah.
I'm glad you took the opportunity to clarify that. Thank you. And good music is good music, and you guys are very talented, so keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you again for being here. I'm DJ Miss Ashley, and this has been live on KEXP with Chicha Libre.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
guys.
having us.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.